Right, on plan B, I was going to do Win Hill today, but couldn't get parked, so a quick spontaneous divert. So I've pulled over to the far end of the service road at Ladybower, Howden, Derwent, Howden. So I've parked at King's Tree. Plan at the moment is over to Slippery Stones, back along the opposite bank, back to Howden Dam, just past Howden Dam, and then turn up at one of the cloughs, which eventually brings me out onto the sort of plateau of Margery Hill. I'll bring me across the top of Margery Hill to the trig point, and then it intersects the cut gate path, which if you take the right will take you over to Langset Reservoir. I'm going to turn left obviously to bring me back down to Slippery Stones. Well, I think it makes about a 10-mile loop. Just a gate coming up in 100 metres, and then just drops down to the river and to the old Packhorse Bridge that was relocated here when they filled the dams up. That up there is Outer Edge, puts you up to Rocking Stones. Right, Slippery Stones. Not too busy at the moment. Bit of a surprise. It usually gets to be a bit of a focal point when weather's out. A pretty little spot. Last time we were down here as well, that bloody police helicopter comes screaming through the valley. He literally had to dodge to miss that tree. It was that low. Bit of shade while I've got it. It's a bit toasty for sure. It's just on this east bank of Howden, which is just down there, just coming to the end of the actual stream that feeds it. Quite fortuitous. I thought I'd put my little bag for this camera in my pocket. Well, I guess it was in my hand. When I swapped hands with At and everything, I dropped the bag. Unfortunately, this couple were just coming in sight, so they saw me drop it. Otherwise, that'd have been a goner, because I'm not coming back this way either. So I want to notice I'd lost it for a little while, and probably wouldn't have been bothered about backtracking. Just up here, when it clears through the trees a bit, over to my right will be King's Tree, which is where the car's parked. So I had to sort of go a mile down that side over Slippery Stones, and then a mile back just to get there. In fact, there's cars. See car from here. So it's only 300 metres that way. We've got to go 2 miles to get across from it, unless you want to try and take your life in your hands and cross the river, which wouldn't be advisable. But it's nice to have a bit of shade. That's going to stop once I get on the flank of the hill. Trees are very limited. Might be the random odd Christmas tree dotted about, but nothing to generate any shade. So I'll be quite exposed for the rest of the day. So that should be just over 2 miles, 2.14 miles, 40 minutes. So yeah, I'm doing about my average speed, about a mile every 20 minutes, and that'll probably slow down a bit once I start going uphill, especially in these temps. So I'll probably go about another 3/4 of a mile maybe on this service track till I get past Howden Dam, and then I break left to start making the ascent up to our Margery Hill. A swimmer just coming to shore, somebody on the shore. I don't know if that's just the mate or warden come to tell them off. Ranger. Carry on this service road, soon coming to the end of the flat, which is good. 3 miles, 3.12 miles at the moment. So the dam's here in front of me, just off to my right, probably 200 metres, and then just got to go past that a little bit further, and then this path will take a left turn, and pretty much on the turn there should be a path that cuts up through that lot. Well, yeah, cuts up that lot, and quite steep from memory. So as much as I don't like walking on flat, that's going to change quite quickly. Here we are, Howden Dam. Not be overflowing anytime soon. As we come to this left corner, or just around this left corner, should be where I depart from this service road, and then we're out onto moorland. Got to climb a bit first to get up on top. Here we are, this is the one I want. So that's the flat done with, and now the only way is up. This takes me up here, puts me onto like a little bit of a plateau, and then climbs again. Nether Hey. Still up. That's the first major up done. Sort of levels out a bit ish just up here, and then plateaus, and then another climb onto Margery Hill. That path across there, this is Abbey Clough, Abbey Brook below me. Follow that path, takes you all the way around, brings you out to the west of Backtor, which is over there. I think that's Lost Lad up there, Backtor over yonder. So it takes you all the way around, makes a nice little 10-mile loop down Pike Low. But if you take that path, which comes off of that one, that'll take you up to Lost Lad that way. Hey. Get these gates out, there you go. Fortunately my finger was just out of the way so I didn't chop it off. Well, I've done for shade, but I've picked up a nice breeze, so that's good. Whew. Up top of Nether Hey. Levels out a bit here for a little bit, and a slight descent, and then another ascent onto top of that one. Just see Lost Lad cairn just sticking out the right hand side of that bit of a flank. Probably won't pick up on GoPro. Some banded garraways. Just done the first major ascent over this little bit of a plateau, and now sort of descends again, follows around there and joins up with that path up there, a couple of switchbacks, and puts me onto the top of Margery Hill. Pretty much to where the colour changes. The trig point is just over the top there. I think where that colour changes is cut gate, so the light green, and then the path pretty much cuts down, and then you've got outer edge, bull stones, a little rock outcrop, just so I can see again. I don't know if it'll pick up on GoPro. A couple of miles over that way, so I go along the top here and to the trig point, and then intersect that path and down, and that puts me back down to slippery stones. But first, up again. So just come over that bit of a plateau there, descend now. Back on the ascent, up over this stile, and up a couple of switchbacks takes me up onto the ridge line over there. I'm not expecting really to see anybody up here, or very few. Now I've come off the service road. That's where you've got all the walkers and bikers going around Ladybower on that loop, but so I'll be surprised until I get to Cut Gate. I might see a few going up and down that way maybe, but this is not a majorly popular route for some reason. It's certainly out the way and off the beaten track and away from the hordes. You've got Grinner Stones, Bleaklow Stones over there, Shelfmore in the distance, Bleaklow Stones, Grinner Stones, Barrow Stones, Round Hill, and in the middle of that plateau, Grinner Stones at this end, Barrow Stones there, and in the middle of there, inland about 200 metres, is a little signpost about a foot off the floor, which is the source of the Derwent. So that's where it comes from, off of there, and then drops down the hills, various tributaries, and drops down and feeds into Howden. On the flat, I'm still panting. We're at the top. We're pretty much level, just undulating, I suppose, for the next couple of miles. So just on Howden Edge, just making my way over to Margery Hill Trig point. It's a little bit squishy, but no dramatic. It does get that, so when it's turn this radio down, hang on. It gets very squishy when it's had some water on it, but quite dry today, a bit springy underfoot. Hopefully there's just a bit of an overview when I just crossed over this. I think I should be able to see sort of the rest of the route to the north, more or less. But Howden Edge, not a soul around. Still on Howden Edge, just come from High Stones, had a cup of tea and an orange, and now just heading over to, I'm going to see it in the sunlight, white pillar trig point there at Howden Edge. So that's where I'm heading for next. If you go off piste about a mile, you'll come to a short sterling wreck over yonder, say just a mile that way, and then over that way is a hunter, debris of a hunter wreck, which crashed in '93, I think. And over that side where the colour changes, this light green is Margery Hill, and then that goes over to Outer Edge, and you've got Outer Edge Trig Point, you've got a V1 bomber, V1 bomb, a Oxford, and a Consul, Icelandic Consul, a Pearson. The other side of these rocks is a little bit of a plateau with Margery Hill Trig Point. Margery Hill Trig. Margery Hill Trig Point, and that's it. It's all downhill from here now, so I've just got to go across here, quarter of a mile-ish. Should intersect me with the Cut Gate path, and then take a left and downhill all the way back to Slippery Stones. It's just gone 2 o'clock, so I've got about an hour To get back to the car, an hour and a quarter. Hopefully top side. I should do that because it's pretty much all downhill. Half a style. Usually like if you stand on top of vegetation, it displaces your weight. Right, just here. Should be, yes. Ken just popped up in front of me. And that's the main cross path. If I carry on across, that takes me on to Outer Edge. Rocking stones, bull stones down there. Well, that path there will take you along to Outer Edge Trig. And then this main path here is Cut Gate. So if you take a right, it takes you down to Mickleding Clough. A lot of mountain bikers play on that one, I think. And then this way, which is the way I'm going, left, will drop me down to Slippery Stones. So the path just there takes you over to Rocking Stones and the Console Wreck. Just off to my right, just past it. And just drop down here now, end up on a paved section. Which takes me down a little bit and then back to rough path again. Part over there, that tree line really, that'll be King's Tree over yonder, that'll be Lynch Clough. So I've got to go down here now, around, just follow this path down, meanders down and around that nib coming up in front of me, and then a steep descent. But yeah, started off with that tree line, come along to Slippery Stones down here, around the other side of this nib, around and over that plateau over yonder, and then up onto there, over high stones, Howden Edge, push up to Margery Hill Trig point, which is just over the top of there, and then say down onto Cut Gate path here, which is now on the paved section. That's about it then, nearly at the bottom of Cut Gate. So there's ball stones again. Takes you over to Rocking Stones. Horse stone on that plateau, far plateau, the one rock outcrop in the middle. Let's do that again. I've not been over that way for a few years. And then I've just got to go down now, just down here, and then break down. There's a couple of bikers down on that path. That's the path I'll be I've got to descend down to there, follow it round, and then Slippery Stones is just around the corner. Just had some mountain bikers go past and they were pedalling up here. I'm assuming they're on e-bikes. Some serious pedal power if it's standard. So let's descend down to the stream, got a stream to cross, and then along that path there. And that is pretty much down. That's it, on the level-ish. Little roll around this corner, Slippery Stones, and then a double up of about a mile back to King Street at car. Howden Moor. So I've just come down from Margery Hill, down all that lot, that bit of a rock face there, that's where rabbits are, rabbit warrens. So that path just cuts up along top of that and skirts around. And that closes the loop. That's where I came in and went up this morning. Let's take a spin around the back of Slippery Stones. That's it, back on the just return leg now, back to the car. Tap. Royal Oak in His Majesty King George the 6th planted this tree 25th September 1945. And it's certainly more popular down here than it ever used to be. That is for sure. Perfect timing as well. And in the shade, bonus. 3:05, 4 hours 19 walking, 9.55 miles.